Once upon a time, in the cozy little village of Star Hollow, nestled between rolling hills and quiet woods, there lived a curious girl named Lila. She had curly hair the color of midnight and eyes as bright as the stars. Lila loved stories, especially the ones her grandmother told about magical creatures and secret forests. But one tale fascinated her more than any other, the story of the Moonlight Whistler. The Moonlight Whistler, Grandma said, was a rare and gentle creature who only appeared on the clearest of nights. It had feathers that shimmered like silver, antlers made of stardust, and a long tail that glowed with moonlight. But most magical of all, it could whistle tunes that made flowers bloom, rivers sing, and dreams sweeter than honey. Has anyone ever seen it? Lila would ask, snuggled under her quilt. Only those who believe, Grandma would whisper with a smile. One summer evening, after the fireflies had begun to dance and the stars poked through the velvet sky, Lila lay in bed wide awake. The moon was round and bright. It looked like a glowing coin in the sky. Tonight feels different, she thought. Unable to resist the tug of curiosity, she tiptoed past her snoring cat, down the creaky stairs, and out the back door into the moonlit garden. The air shimmered with silver light. Crickets chirped their lullabies, and the wind whispered through the trees like it had a secret. Lila took a deep breath. Moonlight Whistler, she said softly. If you're real, I want to meet you. For a moment, everything was still. Then a soft, whistled melody floated through the air. It wasn't like any song she had ever heard. It sounded like starlight and laughter and whined through chimes. The flowers in the garden began to open their sleepy petals, and the leaves above her seemed to sparkle. Lila's heart pounded with wonder. From the shadows of the woods, a figure stepped forward. It was tall and graceful, with feathers that shimmered from silver to pale blue. Its antler glowed faintly, and its large, gentle eyes blinked at her. It had no mouth, yet the beautiful whistling tune poured from it like magic. The Moonlight Whistler, Lila breathed. The creature tilted its head, as if smiling. Then it lowered itself so Lila could climb onto its back. Are you taking me somewhere? The creature didn't speak, but the wind curled around Lila like a soft answer. With a deep, whooshing breath, the Moonlight Whistler leapt into the air, and they were flying. Up above the trees, higher than the barn roof, higher than the clouds. The stars twinkled so close Lila felt she could reach out and touch them. Below, she saw rivers glowing silver, sleeping deer in the fields, and the tiny flicker of lanterns in her village. They soared over a silver lake where glowing fish danced, and past whispering forests filled with golden fireflies. Finally, they landed in a hidden glade surrounded by trees that glowed faintly blue. The whistler let out another gentle tune, and tiny lights blinked on in the bushes and trees. They weren't fireflies, they were fairy moths, creatures Grandma had once mentioned. They flitted around Lila, tickling her cheeks. Then a large flower at the center of the glade opened, revealing a pool of water glowing like moonlight itself. The Moonlight Whistler dipped its tail in the pool and then gently touched Lila's forehead. Suddenly, Lila could hear thoughts not her own. You are kind, and you believe, said a voice like wind chimes. So we share a gift with you. Lila looked around in amazement. You can talk in my head. Only in this place, the voice replied. You are the first human to visit in 100 years. But, why me? Because you listened to stories. And you believed, even when others stopped. Lila felt her chest fill with something warm and bright. The whistler stepped aside, revealing other magical creatures, glowing foxes, crystal-winged birds, and a tree with a face that blinked and smiled. This is the Moon Meadow, the whistler explained. A place for magic to rest. But magic is fading from the world because few remember how to listen. Lila nodded solemnly. I'll remember. And I'll tell others. The whistler bowed its head. But only those who are ready will truly hear. Just then, the sky began to lighten with the very first hints of dawn. It's time to return, the whistler said. Lila hugged the creature's soft feathered neck. Will I see you again? When the moon is full and your heart is open. They flew back across the land as morning bloomed on the horizon. Birds began to chirp, and the world stretched and yawned. The whistler landed gently in Lila's garden. She slid off its back and turned to say goodbye, but the creature was already shimmering like mist. Then it was gone. Lila tiptoed back inside, climbed into bed just as the sun peeked over the hills, and fell asleep with a smile. Years passed, and Lila grew up. She became a teacher in the village, and every month, on the night of the full moon, she told her students stories, especially the one about the Moonlight Whistler. Most giggled and thought it was just pretend. But some, just a few, listened with eyes wide as the stars, hearts quiet and curious. And every now and then, on a bright moonlit night, one of those children would swear they heard a strange, beautiful whistle in the wind. And the flowers in their garden would bloom. The end.